Hey, you, real quick. Let's talk about the new weapons coming out in 2.5. MiHoYo showed off these two weapons last night, and I'd like to give my recommendations. I've been thinking a lot about them, and my opinions don't exactly perfectly line up with other people's. Yai's signature 5-star weapon will be called Kagura's Verity. At level 90, it'll have 608 attack with 66.2% crit damage. The effect gives you 12% elemental skill damage bonus every time you use an elemental skill. At 3 stacks, you get 12% all elemental damage bonus, which is okay. The thing about this weapon is, I believe it's the first new crit main stat 5-star catalyst to come out, but it just doesn't look that worth it. If I'm being completely honest, it's probably only worth it for Lisa mains. I don't think that there will possibly ever be a better weapon for Lisa than this. I think this will definitely be her best in slot, and it probably will be for a long time if this is any indication of weapons to come. And don't get me wrong, it should definitely perform well on Yai. I just don't know exactly how Yai works yet, if the majority of her damage is gonna be coming from her elemental skill, or if some sort of like sub DPS burst build would be viable anyway, but I'd like to think that is the case, because in that case, Widsith probably ahead by a mile, purely because of the fact that Yai can only get up to 12% damage bonus for her burst from this weapon. And the Widsith, my R4 Widsith gives 84% elemental damage bonus for 10 seconds. Sometimes. There's only really 2 drawbacks to the Widsith that make it, line up with 4-star weapons at all. These buffs are all so huge, and all of them are able to apply to her burst. Or at least these two can substantially increase the damage of her burst, while the 5-star weapon just won't. You can only get up to 12% damage bonus for her burst from that weapon, and I just can't see how her burst isn't going to be useful enough to build for it. What remains to be seen is if her elemental skills are really like the majority of her damage, because I don't know how often they tick, I don't know how much they're gonna tick for, but it's definitely safe to build for her burst. You could also possibly make a case for Klee being good with this weapon, but it's really not gonna be more than a stat stick, and I don't see her utilizing the whole buff very often, Overall, I think this 5-star weapon, even if you intend to get it just to be a stat stick, is gonna be kind of really niche, just because the full effect of the weapon is gate-kept by so much, I don't think it's gonna be as useful or versatile as like the Staff of Homa or the Jade Cutter, because the Jade Cutter will be good on anyone you put it on, pretty much. And the Staff of Homa is super useful on like Xiao, Zhongli, and of course Hu Tao. If I had to rate the value of this weapon, even if it's purely being used as a stat stick, I'd call it unnecessary, 3.5 out of 5 tops. However, the event weapon actually looks pretty good. It's definitely not gonna be very useful for players who have a lot of 4-star options already, but I think it looks better than any of the craftable catalysts for like a sub DPS character. Say for example, I'm sure a lot of people who have played the game, just for a long time, haven't spent a lot of money, if any, have Mona at this point. And there's just no craftable catalyst that's better for Mona than this weapon right here. Of course, the same case with the 5-star weapon we were just talking about. If you have a Widsith, just one Widsith. Even better if you have more, but just one will probably be better than this weapon. But specifically for players who maybe started playing the game more recently and got lucky on the standard banner or something, and they have Mona, but they don't have like a Widsith or a Favonius Codex or whatever, this will be good enough for them. I'm honestly not sure if I'm gonna level it up personally, but I think it'll probably be pretty good. Now that I think about it, even Kokomi or Sucrose, I feel like this would be a good enough option on them if you don't have any other 4-star catalysts at all, and you don't have any catalyst prototypes. This will be a nice free catalyst. It seems like it's probably a better weapon overall for like account growth than the Dodo Coattails. Overall, I think it's probably gonna be fine, maybe even pretty good, because, you know, it's guaranteed, it's free, it's limited time, but it's still free. You get it to R5, and it should even pair well with the Emblem of Severed Fate set, so that's pretty good. Overall, I'd give this like a 4 out of 5. It looks pretty versatile, and it's totally free. Anyway, I meant for this to be shorter than it's probably gonna end up, but if you made it to the end, thanks so much for watching. Regardless, I've been Roman. Have a great rest of your day.